everybody hear me? Cool. Hi, I'm Woody Clemmer with ForMotiv. We are a behavioral intelligence platform. We help companies optimize their user experiences and reduce risk and fraud. So everybody in this room is currently going through the digital transformation. If you think back 10 years ago, you were doing everything face-to-face, right? You were walking in, you were doing, trying to buy a life insurance policy or trying to buy an auto policy, whatever it was. You would likely walk into a retail branch. You would sit down with a sales rep or an agent or a broker, and you would begin filling out your application. So that agent most likely is reading your body language as you're doing that. So if you were confused, obviously they're there to help you. If you were, engaged and you were excited and you seemed like a great customer, maybe they would try to upsell you a policy. Or if you were nervous or you were fidgety or you were doing something odd, like when I asked you, what your home address was and you had to pull out a piece of paper and copy over the answer, that would likely raise some red flags. That would be high-risk behavior, I would hope, and they would further qualify you as a customer. So digital transformation has shifted everything online. You've gone from face-to-face to now faceless interactions, which means you are completely blind to all of this user behavior. Because of that, fraud has skyrocketed. People are pushing riskier and riskier policies through. It's very, very difficult to manage, and it's become a huge problem in the industry. So what we built is a digital polygraph. It actually works by analyzing a user's digital body language as they are engaging with your form or your application. And then we use machine learning to begin to predict what their likely intent is. So if you're thinking about it in the context of, I'm filling out a life insurance application and I get down to the question that says, have you ever smoked before? And you hesitate and you say, smoked what? And click yes, and then you see drop-down questions, and you begin filling out those questions. You say, what, how are they ever gonna know? And I press no. You do not have any clue about that behavior as a carrier. We like to think about that as you are grading based off of the final answer. And if you think of that in the context of like math class, your high school math teacher would have never let you just put x equals 7 as the answer to a question. You have to show all your work because it's much more important to understand how you got to your answer than simply what the answer was. It's no different online. We do this in 3 phases. We do collect, detect, predict. So if you think of collect as just raw behavioral data, we're collecting about 150 different behavioral features, everything from, you can see up here, copy and paste, how much time are they spending, fluency, mouse movements, keystrokes, typing speed. It's typically thousands of behavioral data points on each application. Second step is what I was just talking about, which is, if there is a behavior that you would like to know about, we can set up real-time rule-based signals. So you can know, did the agent manipulate a policy after a customer has submitted it on a collaborative application? Did I edit my source of income multiple times? Did I switch the eMed questions after I've filled them out? Did I check a rate, go back and change my answers, and then check a rate again? Lots of different behaviors. We're tracking all sorts of different use cases for all sorts of different carriers. And then the third phase is predict. So we actually work with you. We get outcomes back based off of different, these 100,000 applications come through. These 10,000 were fraudsters. These 5,000 were high risk. And these 3,000 were our best, most profitable customers. You pass us back those unique values. We create models, and we can start to predict in real time what the users are doing as they are actually engaging in the application. We consider ourselves pretty use case agnostic. You can see risk and fraud detection, e-applications, workflow insights, optimizations, benchmarking, compliance, real-time outcome scoring, lots of different use cases for, again, lots of different carriers. You can skip this slide. The main point here is, this is just a quick portal demo, is we don't collect any PII, so we don't have to collect any of that information. And then here are some of the customers we're working with, and you'll see some of our quick braggy results. I think that's time.
So quick question, how do carriers consume the data?
Great question. Carriers can consume the data a couple different ways. One, just raw file. You can just take all, if you have a great data science team, you can just collect all the data. We pass it to you in a raw file. We have a whole suite of APIs, so you can actually start to integrate it if you have underwriting or risk algorithms. We have a portal, as you saw, I don't think it's here anymore, but that you can log into and actually look at the different results. So a handful of different ways. Some customers ask us just to email us over files. Lots of different ways to do it.
Thanks so much, Woody.